Good morning, everybody. I'm here today to give you a walk around of the van, give you kind of some updates of what we've done to it over the last couple of years, what our long-term plans for the van are. When I bought this van 2 years ago in Nashville, it had 19,000 miles on it. It's a 2018. It had belonged to a moving company in Arizona. Somehow or another, it ended up in Tennessee. It had not, like I said, it had 19,000 miles on it, so low mileage. Completely empty. There wasn't a blank canvas. There wasn't anything in the van. It was just a regular moving van or a panel van. So kind of built it out, started building it out so that we could begin camping out of it. And with the low roof or the factory installed roof, it was very uncomfortable inside the van. Couldn't stand up constantly, or having to bend over and whatnot. But we built it out so that we could use it and start camping in it. And really enjoyed the time that we had it with the low roof. However, we knew that we ultimately wanted to put some sort of a high top on it, whether it be a pop-up or a fiberglass hardtop. After looking at it, studying, and talking to folks, we decided to go with the high top fiberglass top. Charlie and I drove out to Salt Lake City earlier in the year and went to a company called Washtosh in Salt Lake City. They dropped the van off to them in the morning. Within about 3 or 4 hours, they had it complete, which was very surprising. They cut the top off, installed the new one, came back to pick it up, and we're very pleased with what we saw. With that being said, the high top gives us a whole complete different opportunity of how we could build the van out. So what we did was we pulled everything out, started from scratch. Again, another blank canvas to work with this high top. Raised the bed, which gave us a kind of a garage space, I think is what the van folks call it. In the back under the bed, we're able to add more storage to it. Obviously, with the high top, we have the opportunity to put cabinets around the interior of the high top. Built a higher cabinet, more comfortable for cooking and where our sink is and the fridge, all that kind of stuff. But we really extremely pleased with having the ability to stand up in this thing without bumping our heads. Now, it's still not like a Sprinter or anything like that, which has straight walls that go up. We still have to duck as you get in and out of it, but I think the capability of this van, especially long term, is going to be hands down better than a Sprinter. What we're looking to do is eventually upgrade this to 4-wheel drive. There's several companies that I've been in contact with. There's one called U-Joint Off-Road or 4x4. They're in North Carolina. Reached out to them, being close, about a 5-hour drive from us. Hopefully that'll be the company we go with later in this year, or later in the first part of 2025. To have them do the conversion. Heard a lot of good stuff about them, seen some of their vans on some of the YouTube channels, and everybody seems to be very pleased with the work that they've done. So looking forward to getting the quote back from them and seeing what all that entails. If you look behind me, there's a cabinet back here. This came from a company called Vandermoon. They are located in Poland, believe it or not. There was a van show in Chattanooga earlier this year that Charlie and I went up and looked at some vans, got some ideas, and this was one of the items that I particularly wanted to see while we were there. This cabinet kind of takes all the carpentry work out of me trying to put something together that would fit correctly and look nice. I'm not much of a carpenter, and cabinets are definitely not my forte by a long stretch. So this was a great opportunity to have something that was kind of turnkey. You just put it in and screw it down, and been very happy with it. I'm going to turn this thing around and kind of show you what the interior looks like. Okay, so as I pan around the van, you can see that we've got plenty of headspace. Easy to stand up in. Got my puck lights installed, very happy with those. Plenty of light in the van. As we turn around and go through this thing, you can see that we still have a lot of trim work to do. Lots of material and design left to do for this side of the van, as well as this front piece, which is all open storage. Lots of opportunity. This is the part of the roof that they left on the van that's over the cab. Eventually that'll be covered, and right now we've got blankets and whatnot stored up there, but plenty of storage there. We'll come back around, and what I'm going to use, the material that I'm going to use on this side will be the same stuff that we have on the ceiling. I'll kind of finish this side out with that Vandermoon cabinet there. You go through and see the whole van will eventually have that type of product on the wall. Again, back to this cabinet. This thing is really cool. Again, like I said, it's manufactured by a company in Poland. Plenty of room for Charlie and I to have. She has one side of it, I have the other. It's worked out really well. Super easy to install. I'm very pleased with it. It fits the contour of the van pretty good, even though it is designed for a Sprinter. Was able to kind of modify it to make it work in here. The back wall back there, not sure what we're going to do. We could put another cabinet there, or I could put some shelving. Still trying to figure out what we want there. And then I have another Vandermoon cabinet ordered, which will go over in this space here. It's much smaller. It's a 27.5-inch cabinet that will allow us to put odds and ends, extra clothing, maybe even some kitchen stuff up there. So looking forward to getting that in, getting it installed, and then finishing out the rest of this interior finish. Over here under the window, I installed this little shelf, which is super cool. It puts spices or whatever we need up here when we're cooking. Down here we've got the sink, which is kind of unusual. This isn't the typical type of sink you would see in a van build. Charlie and I found it on Amazon. We liked the way it looked. It's not, most of the sinks are like you'd see in a camper, kind of under the cabinet. It has a little bit more space, but really in here all we're going to use this for is just probably brushing our teeth and those types of things. We will have another water setup outside, which is where we'll be able to do most of our cooking. But we wanted to have an inside space as well, so that when the weather's bad, we could come in here and cook. But this is the cabinet I built. You can see we've got our Iceco refrigerator down below, 2 storage drawers down there for utensils, and there's a junk drawer, so a little bit of everything in there. Over here is where we have our water. Again, this still has to be finished out. Just using the Dometic water tank. I think it's 2.5, 3 gallons, and then just a gray water catch there that will real easy to maintain and take in and out of the van. And then the space down there, that'll be where our cassette toilet goes. The ultimate goal is to have cabinet doors across the fridge, and then across here as well. Not sure what we're going to do down there for the cassette toilet. It just might be open, so we'll see. What's really cool, the first thing we started doing when we were looking at the van was the bed. How are we going to design the bed? And everybody says when you're looking at building a van, build the van around the bed. So we had a couple of different iterations of the bed. I think 3 or 4 actually that I built, ripped out, and rebuilt. But I think we've landed on this one. We wanted to have as much floor space as possible, and this is kind of a couch. When it's in its up position and it folds out, it pulls down, it'll come out flush to this. And when we do that, we have a full-size bed. We'll actually sleep from heads will be at the back door forward, and there's plenty of room in that bed for us to be comfortable. Had the mattress custom built. The mattress actually has hinges in it, so when you push the bed up, the mattress folds with the bed and then lays down. Those hinges actually fit perfectly. You can't even tell they're there when you're laying on it. I also just bought a 2-inch mattress topper that we'll put on it to give us just a little bit more support. I think the mattress is on it now is a 3-inch, and the mattress we originally had in there was a 5-inch, and it was awesome. It slept very well. That was on the first iteration when we had the low top. However, wanting to push this up and down, we had to go with a little bit smaller mattress or a thinner mattress so that it would fold correctly. Over here, this is kind of a cool thing that we've just recently added under this shelf that I built. And we've got some under shelf lights, which are really cool. Actually can use these for night lights or whatever we want, but just kind of a neat little detail underneath this shelf. So that's pretty much it from the inside. Again, lots of trim work to be left to be done. I'll take you around back and I'll show you the storage area, the garage part. So hold on one second. I'll be right back. Okay, so here we go, stepping out of the van. You can kind of see from the ground up into the van, like I said, plenty of headroom, lots of storage space, still a lot of floor space available. one thing I didn't mention is this this bench right here for our feet when we're sitting on the bed is all storage space. So this lifts up, and plenty of space under there to store whatever we want. We still haven't gotten everything figured out yet as far as what goes where, but that's a huge space there for just about anything. This space here that hasn't been finished, this will actually be a little wardrobe that will go up to the top here, come down to the floor. That'll give us the ability to maybe hang some shirts and stuff. Just a small hanging clothes space.
One of the reasons we did want to raise the bed was to give us the opportunity to have a garage. And right now we've just kind of got some stuff in here just to kind of figure out how we want to utilize it. Still, again, not organized for any kind of a long-term road trip or full-time travel, but we're still trying to figure out how we want to set this thing up. We didn't go with the traditional battery systems that you see in vans. I think more and more you see van folks going to these solar generators, and that's something I've always been a fan of. We've had these in the Jeep and traveled in the Jeep doing overland stuff, and they really serve us well. So I figured they'd be perfect for a van. I've got a Jackery 1000, and then recently picked up this EcoFlow 3700 watt solar generator from REI. And both of these will charge off the solar panel up top. They've worked perfectly for all of our needs within the van, running just basically lights, maybe a diesel heater, and then the fridge freezer combo. But perfect, sets up just right. Did build out on these back doors, little table that pops up if we want to cook outside, which is hopefully what we'll do the majority of the time when we're traveling. We will have another water system back here so that we can have water both back here as well as at the sink. I can't wait for this thing to get finished and maybe for me to retire. And game plan is for Charlie to maybe be able to be in a position she can work from the road, and we'll be out.
All right, so that's kind of it in a nutshell. Thank you for watching. Check back in with me as we do the finishing touches on this thing, getting it completely ready to rock and roll. Hopefully that'll be within the next couple of months. If we do the four-wheel drive conversion, that'll be sometime probably midsummer. I think they said there's about a 6-7 month lead time on most of the shops that do the conversion. So once I decide on who I'm going with, we get our name in a slot, and we plan to get the work done. And as we do that, certainly keep you updated on how that goes. That'll be a really cool process. But yeah, stay in touch, and I'll be posting more updates as we get this thing finished, and maybe some of our travels that we've been doing. I'll get some of that stuff posted as well. And I certainly will be posting lots of travel videos as we go forward. But thanks again, and Happy New Year.